Life in the 1970s, growing up in the 1970s was very different to today. I don't have kids. Pity the people that do. No, I'm only joking. Anyway, so in the 1970s, when you stopped at a petrol station, you stayed in your car and the person who owned it or worked there filled your petrol for you. Obviously there was a lot less cars and a lot less people in those days, but everyone at my school had two parents, except me because my father passed away. Oh, and one girl was divorced. One girl's mother was divorced. And that was a rare thing in those days. We still got left glass bottles of milk at the bottom of the stairs with money, and the man came and put fresh milk there the next morning. We had bakeries for our bread. We didn't have such big supermarkets. We barely went to the supermarket. We didn't have all this processed food. I don't eat much processed food at all. And I'm basically, well, I've got a dress from the 1980s that I still fit into, whereas at the 1990s, as I don't have pharmaceuticals or processed food. Now we have to go and get organic things, but fruit and vegetables and chemical-free, antibiotic-free animals. We didn't even used to have that. We never used to have sprays. We didn't have big corporations. We didn't have big business. We had small business, corner stores, mum and dad businesses, things that have all been closed down now. Very rare to have anything like that. And it's a shame. We used to play with the kids in our street. We used to know all the neighbours, to go to each other's houses. Now it's just separation and too many costs. So double income, no kids, have as much money as you can. Those kind of things were not beforehand. We didn't have, in the 1970s there wasn't consumerism like there is now. When my father passed away in 1975, my mother bought a colour television because he couldn't see the point in having a colour one when the black and white one was completely okay. This must have been around about then that colour TV came in, early 70s I guess. I'm not sure. I don't watch TV anyway. We didn't have one in my house. Not that I have a house, but... And we used to have ice works. So when we went camping, you got a big brick of ice, solid ice, that took up half of the Yeski, so that you could go away for a week and it wouldn't melt. You didn't just have these little chips of ice that melt in a day. There don't seem to be any ice works anymore. I remember going into the ice works. It's more the consumerism too, and the shops. We didn't have, the shops shut at 12 on a Saturday. So Saturday afternoon and Sunday was family time, was catching up with friends time. Wasn't working time. You didn't, well, obviously clubs and things and pubs and whatever, but in general people didn't work. And shopping wasn't an activity. It wasn't an activity to go and spend money. When my mum and dad first got married, in the 1950s, they shared a house. They had a bedroom, but they shared a kitchen and probably the bathroom, so they couldn't afford much. Dad was working and mum went out to work, or was, I can't remember, but she said he rode a push bike to work because they couldn't afford a car, so rode on their own. So that he rode a push bike to work, even in the rain, and she showed me where they lived in Newcastle, and he rode quite a long way. So that's how he got to work in the 1950s. He was someone who didn't like spending money unnecessarily. God, if he was here now, he would freak out. 1975 was very different. Very different to all the consumerism. I just don't like, I was part of that. I used to shop all the time. Used to do shopping as an activity, and up until the last few years anyway. Yeah, 1970s. It was, kids walked home from school unless it was too far. Most of the kids I walked to and from school. I have to do that walk again when I get back to Newcastle one day and walk up to the school, the primary school. It was a big walk. I guess the 70s was more about, well, for us it was camping and being in the bush, but during the week, getting outdoors in the afternoon, and playing together and exploring and being out in nature, going to the beach when I could get someone to get me there. I've always loved the beach, the ocean. In the 1970s for fun, one of the things we did was we'd pick up the phone and just randomly dial a number, or we'd dial a business or something and just say silly things like, is your water running? Better go and catch it. And we'd ring the water board, or we'd ring time. There was a recorded clock. We'd ring that for something to do. It was a free call. But yeah, there was all these games that we would play. Ringing people. Something about a fridge as well. I don't know, there's a series of things that we used to say to people, and they were just silly and joking, and yeah, because no one could call ID you because that didn't exist. So you just prank calls with people. It was entertainment, you know. The telephone was a new thing. The dialing phone, and then when we got the push button one, yeah, you'll have seen them in antique places, potentially.